While we had planned to play the national anthem, I will, due to audio-visual problems, we will say the pledges instead. So if you join me in pledging allegiance to the United States flag. I pledge allegiance I did not know this until a moment ago. He told me that he actually damaged beyond repair 2 A-7 Corsairs, which cost about $3 million apiece. I assume they took that out of his pay. Apparently they did not. But he says that gets him the distinction of being the $6 million man. He left naval service and entered airline service, where he was for many, many years the chief pilot for Southwest Airlines, until mandatory retirement due to age forced him out of the cockpit. He remains with Southwest Airlines as the unofficial chief pilot, I guess, since he's no longer allowed to fly due to FAA regulations. I'm going to hit the highlights of what he earned while in the military, and these are just Navy Commendation Medal with Combat B, 2 Purple Hearts. So, this is a very distinguished man. We are very fortunate, blessed to have him here to speak to you. At this time, I will turn this over to Navy Lieutenant and Airline Captain Mike Penn.
Hi, y'all. Yeah, I'm in Texas. That's how you can tell. I'm glad to be here. It's an honor and privilege. And I come here, I want to talk to everybody, but I'm mainly talking to you for because it's a phenomenal situation you found yourself in. It's a phenomenal opportunity that Judge Henry and all these other people gave to you. And what it's all about was successful completion. It's all about being grateful, and it's all about humility. I know this last year you've learned all about that. I had a few lessons on that myself, starting back in officer training in Vietnam. We'll go through a couple of those little things right there. First of all, I want to see if this whole thing works. You see that Captain Mike Penn, I was an airline captain, I wasn't a Navy captain like Judge Henry said. I was a lieutenant in the Navy. And back with Southwest Airlines, I've been there a long time now. And our chief pilot is J.K. Swindle. He took over. And it was really funny. Dave and I called him in the office before he took the job. And we've asked him to do several things for our company, and he's always been, yes, sir, yes, sir. And the good military man that J.K. is. This time we said, J.K., we need you to come in the office and close the door, please. He goes, oh my Lord, am I in trouble? Not yet. He says, what do you want this time? And we said, we want you to be the next chief pilot in Houston, J.K. And he said, really? And I said, yes, sir. And he did, and he is, and we're quite proud of him. He's doing a marvelous job. Southwest Airlines, we have a lot of fun in our job, especially between the Navy and the Air Force guys. JK's Air Force, I was Navy. We have tremendous respect for all of us that flew supersonic jet fighters and what it entails, but we also give each other a really hard time for things when that opportunity arises. I was going to tell you the story that was JK, but I can't do that, so I really wouldn't. We were, I was flying with an Air Force guy in the right seat. We were landing in El Paso. He was flying. And the wind comes over a mountain out there, and it gets to be kind of rough. Anyway, make a long story short, he hit the ground so hard on landing, it dropped about 5 rows of mast in the back of the airplane. We call that the spaghetti jungle. And what's really funny is here you are on the ground, and people will grab those masks, put it on there, and start breathing. They really do, because that's what the flight attendants tell them to do. But anyway, so we taxied right into the gate, and he looked over at me and said, don't open that door. Right. As soon as we did the checklist, I opened the door so that all the passengers could render comments as they wish. And of course, I'm up there saying goodbye to everybody, and I go, who made that landing? And I said, he did. Because he did. And he took a lot of grief. And finally, the funny part, there was a lovely, about an 82-year young lady that walks up there, and she goes, was he flying that jet? I said, yes, ma'am. She walked in there and says, I got one question for you, Sonny. Was that a hard landing, or did we crash? Well, that's all I needed to do at that point. Rob Mansfield, if you know Rob. That's exactly who it was. Hey, what I want to show you here is how easy it is to land on an aircraft carrier. You come in at about 400 feet off the water. You're going about 400 knots, you make a big turn, you come the beam. Then you come around and you pick the aircraft carrier up and start your descent right about there. And he's picking the carrier up in the wake of the boat going through. And he's already starting to descend. Main portion of the ship. Now he's picking up the optical system, which we call the meatball. And that is right to the left of the ship, you can see it. And he's flying the meatball, his airspeed, and line up. And you see the green down lines right up here? You see those? Now he goes to meatball, 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 adds power, and he hits. That's all there is to it. It's pretty simple, isn't it? It really is. And the really fun part is Air Force guys don't do that. Just Navy guys. Anyway, I thought you'd get a kick out of that. I was really, really lucky to have 2 wonderful, wonderful grandfathers. Officer C.D. Penn of Dallas University Park Police Department. Bob gave me the best advice I ever got from him one day. He's 96 years old when he gave me this. Shortly thereafter, I lost him. I said, Bob, what's the secret of sitting married to a woman for 65 years? He looked at me, didn't blink an time, he goes, "That's easy, Mike, don't ever say nothing." He was right. He was so right. I love that man. And my other granddad, Chief Warrant Officer Herb Campbell, 30-year Army veteran. He was in the 112th Cavalry at the beginning of World War II, and fought hand-to-hand combat there on horseback. He got shot one day when his squad got ambushed. His horse drug him a mile and a half through the jungle back to camp to save his life. When I got my orders to Vietnam, he called one day and says, "Come see me." "Yes, sir." I went to see him. He says, "Just got 2 things to tell you. Take care of your people and never give up." That's all he said. That would save my life. I just didn't know it. Love him to death. I was lucky to have them both. There's the USS Midway, and we were headed out. Actually, in the Gulf, and that picture was taken, and that got sent home because the ship stayed there a long time. I want to talk about teamwork, but big thing I want you to see the very last sentence down there, and that's the most important. Teamwork allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results. On that ship, on most Navy aircraft carriers, there's 5,500 to 6,000 people, all working in unity to do their jobs perfectly, or people get hurt or worse. Guess what the average age on an aircraft carrier is today? Anybody guess? 19 years old is the average age. And those young men and women are doing their jobs perfectly. Because if they don't, somebody gets hurt. When you see allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results, that doesn't mean they're fearless. What that does mean is those people on that ship, and the aviators, and everybody, they do their jobs perfectly in the face of fear. And that's how it works. Blue Angels almost got on that team. Those are the guys that fly the air shows around. They're always looking for the perfect air show. Almost made it. Back in when I got back from Vietnam, I was an instructor in the A-7 thing, replacement air group in California, and they had 3 plays going in the Blues. I tried to get on there, and made the final selections. There were 3 of us that were picked 2. I didn't make it. And I had this little problem back then. I drank too much. Imagine that. And I missed 2 briefs because I went to a couple of parties and I drank too much. And when you're flying those blue machines right there, as close as they fly them, and as fast as they fly them, they sure don't want to trust somebody that drinks too much. And that was me, and that's why I didn't make it. That's my own fault. But bottom line, you put ultimate trust in the other guy. The leader is flying with his visual. So if that leader flies them all into the ground, which is the guy did many years ago, unfortunately, they all go in the ground because they have ultimate trust in that guy who believe, the following. Oops, what did I do? Hit the wrong button? Can you get it back? Well, I guess we'll work on it. We'll see what we can do here. Yell at me when it's back, if you would. Bottom line, that was quick, thank you. See if I that kind of weird color to it. Try going to the next one if you would. I'll just raise my right hand, see if that works. This is what we call blind faith. If you look at the guy in the back of that Russian airplane right there, he doesn't have a stick. So his life is in that guy's hands in front, who's flying about a foot off the ground, doing about 600 knots. And here's one I show you I call ultimate faith. Next one, please. the guy doesn't even budge. And normally I'd replay that, but I think I can do it with this thing. So next please. And then one day, bad things happened. This was the first bad thing that happened. Next one, please. That's the first jet I tore up that Judge Henry was talking about. I got hit by some AAA in North Vietnam, drained all the oil out of my engine, had no oil pressure, no oil, and I had to come back aboard midway and land in the barricade, which is another spaghetti joke, look like the nylon thing that tears the apart, but made it back. Anyway, they stripped all the electronics and everything else off and pushed the airplane over the side. But that was one, and the next one was going to come later. Next slide, please. And then on August 6, 1972, something happened on the way off the aircraft carrier. I was flying an Airman mission downtown Hanoi. And an Airman mission is you fly two of you guys ahead of the strike group toward the target, and they shoot surface-to-air missiles at you. You kind of take all the missiles, you shoot missiles back at them, and it allows the bombers to come in on the target and leave. And that's what we did. And we successfully did that. They hit the target, they left. They're on the way out. And Ray and I were on our way out, and they fired 3 missiles from behind us. So we had to turn around to see those missiles. A surface-to-air missile, you dogfight those just like you do a jet, except they're doing 14 speed of sound, and they can't turn real well. So we pick them up, we dive, they dive after us. When they get about 3/4 of a mile, we do a high G roll into them. You look up, they blow up. They have a proximity fuse that goes off, but you're far enough away that you don't get hit. So that happened twice. I did that. Went around 2 missiles. Well, while that was going on, they shot 3 more from behind, and I never saw them. And they all had no name on them, unfortunately. So next thing you know, I got hit. And I tried to turn to the beach, which I did. Another missile came by, went about 3 feet from my head, didn't work. The fuse didn't work, or I wouldn't be standing there right now. And then the airplane went out of control. I was doing about 500 knots upside down. Pull the ejection handle, went out, and believe it or not, everything worked. At half speed, my neck should have broken. I only got a leg broken out of that and an arm dislocated. But it shouldn't work. It should have killed me, but it didn't. Next thing I know, I'm alive, I'm in the chute, and I went, wow, this is pretty amazing. And then those bullets started ripping through my parachute. And the good news is I wasn't in the chute that long. Next slide. Next thing I know, I'm on the ground. Bullets are still hitting all around. And I just knew I was going to get shot. But I didn't. It was absolutely fearful. On the ground, about a minute and a half, people walked up from behind. I was talking on the radio, letting them know I'm on the ground alive. I didn't see when I got home. They captured me. I told the story. I got tracked up. What did you do? And a couple of water buffalo, a couple of boat rides, a couple of trucks. I was in a prison camp. Next slide, please. And my phone got a little bit. And I got my first set of fancy pajamas that you see. And we stayed there all day until it fell. It got dark. And they threw me in the back of the truck. Drove to the Hanoi Hilton and got steak arrangements. It was really special. What I want to talk to you guys about. I want to talk to Campo. I want to talk to the Survivor Commendation Marcus and Charles. I talk to them about hope. I talk about attitude. I talk about faith, belief, desire, choices. But mostly hope. Because I learned the hard way. I almost died. And I was hurt really bad. They didn't get me in this because I was nice. I had every inch of my body covered with this heat blanket. And my eyes were closed shut. The cut in my neck got infected. I was really sick. And I got malaria. And I didn't eat for about a month. I just couldn't. You can make it about 30 days without food. You can make about a week without water. You can't live one day without hope. You lose hope, you're done. And I was just about there. And thankfully, there was an Air Force captain in a cell right across from me, Corporal Hilton. They got really mad at me because Kevin was a real skinny guy, and he kept seeing me turn back all that nasty food. He goes, Mike, how about it? I'm starving over here. How about you eat that stuff? Something about the way he said it, and something about the way my granddad said, Mike, don't ever give up. All I did all at once. And what I learned is, you guys might have learned this last year too. To change your life, it takes a conscious decision to be made. It's like the Nike commercial, you just do it. Once you make that decision, like I had to do many, many years ago, I go, man, I can't do this anymore. I think I'm going to find a better way to live. And once you make that decision, things get easy, and you just adapt. I slept on a piece of concrete for 8 months. Well, guess what? That becomes normal, and you accept it. You accept the things you cannot change. And those life lessons will continue on as that goes. And as a result of accepting those things, you just do it. The next thing you know, the days get easier, and the decisions become easier. And then you find out, there might be a power somewhere out there greater than myself. Because I know all of us fighter pilots in the Air Force. It was all about us. And in combat, it has to be. Don't get me wrong. Because the decisions you make in combat, if you don't make the right one instinctively, it will. But there's a big difference between letting your ego run amok and letting it run your jet. Let's put it that way. To make things. But once you find out, you humble yourself, you soften your heart, and you realize, hey, there's something out there bigger than me. I think I'll join that world and see what happens. It works. It just works. But you can never, ever lose hope. Sit this way, it works here. How about that? Make the choice. That's all it is. It's a choice. You want to live, you want to die, you want to live that way. You've been given a wonderful opportunity. We all make mistakes. And you get a second chance, especially like the one that you gave to all you folks. Take it, make that choice, and live a better way of life. Be a part of something greater in a situation that becomes normal, and you realize why. Just exactly what my granddad said. One thing I wanted to add, what you see right now is the 12-step prayer from Alcoholics Anonymous. All the little chips that AA gives out to all the folks, that's on the back of it. And what it says is, God, grant me the surrender to accept the things I cannot change. Because what happens is, addicts and alcoholics and firefights, we try to control everything on the face of the earth. That don't work real well. So, then when it doesn't work our way, we're going to act out just like a child does. Well, that's why we say, grant me the serenity to accept those things that I can't change. Then the next step is, give me the courage to change the things I can. And that's what those choices mean. Make the choices in my life to live a better way, to do things for the greater good. But the key to staying where you are right now is service. If you get out of yourself and serve others, you're going to be an impact for others. More than you do. And then the very last part, and the most important part, is the wisdom to know the difference between the two. Make the judgment, understand where you are, and where you're going to go. It's that simple. And the reason I know what I'm talking about, almost 25 years ago, I found that drinking cost me my job with grueling, almost cost me an airline job, almost cost me a career. And we were out in California, me and my son, just doing this kid out. Going back to his base, and we were on the way back to LA, and my wife drove by and said, "Hey, that's the place where we should." She drove by this place, stopped, opened the trunk, threw the suitcase out, and said, "You're going to be there 30 days. If you don't complete it, you're never going to see me retire." Okay. Well, I joined up with Beverly Hills Attorney and gynecologist and figured out we're going to get out of that place. We're going to sue them. That's what we're going to sue them. The swimming pool didn't look like the brochure. Can't make this up. Well, unfortunately, I wasted a whole week, but finally a week later, I had a counselor who was a great big Marine, and he had about all the money out he wanted to hear one day. He threw me up against the wall. He said, "Mike, you're 51 years old. Your way of doing things got you here. Don't you think it's time to shut up and listen to a better way of doing things?" Yes, sir. Love you. Best thing I ever had to do. And that was almost 25 years ago. I never would have been a chief pilot at Southwest Airlines. I just stayed on the road, I was cool. But I had another chance, just like you all did. Take advantage of that. Please. What would you do tomorrow if you couldn't fail? Think about that. And go out there and do it. And don't ever give up. That's the most important part. God bless you all. God bless America.
I really didn't follow that. So thank you very much for all that you've done for the country and for giving us your time here this afternoon. I really appreciate it. Now it's time to get to the part that y'all are most important, are most interested in, and that's graduating and getting all out of here. Before we do that, the Assistant District Attorney has something he would like to say to you.
We have all your dismissals filed signed by the court, and
You earned it. You've all been here long enough to know what comes next and what's required to get out of here, get to the other side of that glass door, which you've been eyeing since I got up here. Airman James Fulton.
Hi, my name is James Fulton. I was in the Air Force between 1962 and 1966. I got a DWI on February 14, 2019, and a second one on July 11, 2020. A good friend of mine told me that the Veterans Treatment Court would be a good program for me. I've had no alcohol since July 11, 2020. And I'd like to thank Judge Henry for his encouragement and trust, Jeff Gottman for helping me with my hearing disability that got on the flight line, Jonathan Beaulier for his guidance, Matthew Parrish for getting me into the program, Dr. Henderson for prescribing programs and helping me recognize alcoholism, triggers, and how to avoid them, and Patrick Jersey for giving me out on a bond that I didn't have a bond on the second DWI. He was giving me a bond and he got me out. And for helping me get me on, thank you.
the staff back there are a little concerned. He's a rock star, no kidding. He plays in the band, he's awesome. I saw a video. And I thought, how am I going to keep a guy who goes to the bar every night sober? But it turns out I had nothing to do it. He did it all himself, and he did a great job. And due to my concerns, he does hold the record. He has given more urinalysis tests than any participant or graduate in the history of the program, and I doubt we'll have anyone even come close to him. I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to have that assurance that he was great and he was fantastic. So if I didn't know after, I could come up on 2 years. So, okay, perfect. Next up, we have Dan Strzyzewski, Sergeant, U.S. Army.
Hello, everyone. My name is Danny Strzyzewski. I served from 2005 to 2013 in the U.S. Army. I'm in here on aggregate assault and deadly weapon and I will be clean terms. So I'm a little more advanced up there. This program was amazing. It sucked at first and it's gonna suck, but you're only gonna get out of it when you put into it. You know, they open so many doors. We're all here by our own wrong choices. And, you know, this is a great opportunity. It's definitely better than the alternative. I definitely want to thank Jonathan, especially, definitely brother, the legal team, Matthew, Judge. That's about it.
I don't think Sergeant Strzyzewski would be surprised to know that we all had serious concerns that he'd make it through the program. But he did, and for the last 6 months, has been a poster child, exemplary, very proud of him. Next up, we have Seaman Tracy Swindle, and I'm going to ask Officer Rivera to come up and help participate in the graduation, because you may remember this officer. Y'all had a roadside meeting one evening. Come on up, both of you.
I didn't see that coming. Today's 399 days, and I've been sober because of this program. I was in the military for a very short time, and my doing what I've done for so many years. In fact, when I sent this picture to Jonathan, it got me thinking that I had not been sober since that picture in 1994 for the 6 weeks boot camp. And that was a long time ago, you know. So without this program, there's just not enough accolades. This program is amazing. And for the ones that are struggling and in the beginning, that suck factor is high. It's horrible. You're going to have that thought 483 times a day. I don't want to do this. I'm going to give up. Keep going. Do not give up. Do not just throw it away if you can help it. Do everything in your power to try to stay sober. And to do better. Because at the end of it, it's worth it. Without all of you, we don't have that chance to be better. We're just going to be sitting where we're going to be sitting behind those bars. So I want to thank everybody for what you do. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
And thank you, Officer Rivera, for coming. She said she was surprised. We really like having the arresting officer come and participate with us here. it's not often, I don't think, they get to see something they do end up like this. So thank you for your participation. Chief Riley, thank you for your service. And finally, Corporal Sean McBride. Corporal?
My name is Johnnie Arolfo Civic Center. And I'm here because everybody died. Community service to do for the airport there, involved guns and alcohol. So I also have weapons with me, so I'm not prepared as well. So my attorney introduced me to this program I never heard of before that. I agreed to come in. And whenever I got here, I remember one of the first things Judge Henry said at one of the court hearings was telling everybody, they put everybody in two categories. People who were here for one time mess up, want to get through it, and be done with it, and then people who were here that really want to get something out of it. At that point in time, I was just here for a one-time mess up and wanted to get through it and get on with my life. I have a great family, great friends, I work in the community a lot, great career. And so I didn't see any need for this program. But as I went through it, it was, like everybody said before, it was very difficult. Judge said we like it, but I promise you we don't. As I went through it, it got to me. And so I was going through all the steps, starting to face demons that I had put away for many years. I wasn't physically an alcoholic whenever I got here. But through this program, I learned that I had been psychologically ill. So I've been self-medicating for many years, suppressing my demons, and not knowing it, just going on with my life. And these courses that they put you through brought those demons back to life. And so they would be big front and center. Consumed a lot of my time. Like I said, I had a good career, or a happy career. I'm a tax company, CPA firm, so it requires a lot of hours. And then going through this program, it takes time as well, and then having everything front and center, it takes away my concentration. I wasn't able to do my job efficiently. So I became built up. And back in May, I had a full-blown mental breakdown. Almost took my life. Decided, okay, this is it. I have to do something. And luckily, the VA has come a long way since I was in the military. Back whenever I started the Marine Corps, we didn't talk about it. Showed a weakness, and it was just okay. And the VA really didn't have a lot of resources at the time. So for the past 25, 30 years, I've suppressed it. And this program introduced me to the things that the VA offers and has put me on a new path. Still working on it today. Finished all the requirements. But importantly, 6 months ago, I continued to go to treatment on my own since then. And I can tell every day that I'm getting better. And that's because of this book. Like I said, at the beginning, I was coming in just to get through it and be done. But it actually has changed. And I hope, as much as all of y'all hate it, I hope y'all get something out of this. So that's my story.
I've got to brag on him too. For those of you who weren't here for the first court setting, Corporal came up and said, I have a very important job. I won't be able to make all the appointments. I said, good to meet you. I'm Mark Henry. You'll make every damn appointment you signed up for, or you won't be in this program any longer. And we had a turnaround, didn't we? But you did great. I'm very proud of you. Really. That concludes the formal portion of our program. I would like to thank the Texas Veterans Commission before we close out. Some scratch-off cards, only 2 at a time generally, say supporting veterans. Those 2 cards are what pays for this young man right here and this young man right here. So that grant from the Texas Veterans Commission is tremendous for this program. It equates to about $250,000 a year, and it comes from those scratch off lottery tickets. So I'm not encouraging you to gamble if you don't already, but if you do use scratch off tickets, look for the ones that say supporting Texas veterans. Thank you, Councilman Bowen, for helping us secure this facility this afternoon. It's been great. We've had a great time here. With that, we will say to the graduates, number 87, 88, 89, and 90, your participation in Galveston County Veteran Support is hereby terminated, and a protected nation thanks you. We have snacks in the back. This concludes the formal portion of our program. Thank you.